It was good, was good, was good. So yeah, now I've not dropped a video in a while. But if you'll be following up on my Twitter page, you can see um we had a trade from on NQ, EU and gold, which like normally I was supposed to have done a video on them like individually, but I just have to put them together because the trades they were taking somewhat close to each other. NQ was on the 30th, but yeah, it was taken on the 30th, but I posted on the 31st. EU and gold were both taken on the 31st. So, I mean, why not just make a video to cover everything? So, we'll start from NQ basically. On this, I basically took a loss at first and then a re-entry to target a. There's this gap here. This is basically like I had to go back. Let me just. This is what played out basically for the week, but it was just this 4 hour um range that I traded, and that was it. Just targeting this gap here basically. So all of my thought process behind this trade, price was taking out this low. Uh, uh, it was FCN. I can't remember. US 100. If you notice, some brokers the gap is not there, but at this point I was looking at this particular um capital capital.com 4 hour Nasdaq spotted this gap. I think if I was looking at the regular like NQ, price would have basically never reached the gap. So yeah, I don't know. Let's say I was lucky. Well, yeah, US 100 capital.com. So yeah, thought process behind this trade. We have this fair value gap. We have this little. It's just a very little. Initially, this is the main fair value gap, but after price traded here, it's just left just a little fair value gap. Price is taking this low. At this point, I went to the 1 hour to see what was happening there. So this was what was happening on the 1 hour. We have this candle taking out this low and this low into this area, and if you notice now on the 1 hour, this is also a bigger fair value gap, but price is basically coming to you know fill it in. So after the 1 hour, I went to the 15 minute time frame. After seeing this, I went to the 15-minute time frame. So basically the trade was taken from here. Let me go to the 3 minutes because that was where the one analysis. I know I took a loss. So the first loss was basically a tighter stop loss in this sense here. A buy was being taken from here, with my stop loss just here, targeting this high. So this was the initial trade. So price came back to stop loss. Then I took another trade on my stop loss here, targeting this high. So what happened was that all this movement was price coming to the 50% of the week and basically taking this low. This is price coming to the 50% of this week at this point and taking this low. Then we went to target, and I mean that was just it. So just a really small trade. First trade, first loss, another re-entry just to target the high and recouped loss and few. So yeah, so that was that with Nas Nasdaq. So the next trade was on EU basically. Was it EU or gold? Okay, it was EU. This was EU basically. So let me quickly go to EU. It was on Friday. That was the 31st, last day of the month. So basically we're at this point. Okay. Let me go to the point. We're at this point here. So what am I looking at? Basically all this was just from the 1 hour. I didn't like there was no need going to the daily or weekly. Like seeing the 1 hour, you can tell that price just um took out a low. Like this low here. Price taking out this swing low. We have this range. This is the CRT high, this is the CRT low. We have this range. Price taking out this low. Then going to the 1 hour, we have another range here basically. So it's more like a range inside of a range. This is also a range, but price is taking up the high. So you expect price to be bearish, but the underlying the bigger picture basically is price taking out this low mainly. So that is just the price taking out this low. I will just want to target the 50% of the range or the high of the range. So there were basically two entries, one with a smaller stop loss below this low and one with a stop loss here. So targeting the 50% was mainly like, okay, today is Friday. Price has taken this high as of Thursday into this area. So like I mean, what is the probability that we might see this high get taken out like today? That was my thought process. So that is why I had a second trade in which the full take profit was at the 50% of the 4 hour range basically. So the two trades it was taken at this point, which was my stop loss here for one, and this was the take profit. Then the second trade was taken at the same, but with stop loss below here this time. I'm targeting here. So this was just it. We're taking out this low 4 hour CRT is forming. You can go deeper. 1 hour CRT high and low. We took out this low. Then basically first trade was price. Then first trade stop loss was below this low, mainly because like this CRT already formed. So if price is going to take this low, that means there's a probability that price will keep going down. Then another CRT, like another range formed here also, price taking out this low. It's more like the same thing that happened here. If you look at it closely, this low is like the same as this low, but just a smaller version of this. This is a smaller version of this basically, and all this and this, they are smaller versions of what is on the 4 hour. So it's just price fractality, if that is a word. So second trade is entry is here, stop loss is below this low basically. Because also I had in mind that taking this trade is also possible for price to come to the 50% of the week and take out this low and go up. That is also a probability. So that is why this trade is also a consideration with the low here, and this is also a consideration. So I mean, once we took out this once we traded to the 50% here, this hits profits from this trade, partials were still taken, then the remaining positions left to run, stop loss was brought to break even. So this stopped out, the remaining stopped out at break even. If this is it, so the remaining just got stopped out at break even basically here. So that was that for EU, my EU trade. Then for gold, man, this trade was a nice trade, but okay. So we have, this was where the trade was taken from here, but let me explain. We have, okay, normally it's normal to think that like, yeah, price has taken out this high, so like price should like, this should be the high of the day and price wants to go down. I mean, that was like before my thought process before, until like, I mean, experience and all. So looking at this, price has been going up. I had a call with one of my friends in South Africa. We actually called this low, this particular low here, taking out this liquidity. So yeah, I was not a participant of this. I was not available at this time on the chart, but I think he was a participant of this, held this with this high. Okay, that information is very important. Let's just get to the trade. So basically, gold, what is my thought process here? Price is taking out this low. It all starts from the 4 hour. Price is taking out this 4 hour low. So all you have to do is just to zoom in here and look for a valid 1 hour CRT. Then if you want to get an early entry without waiting for the 1 hour candle to close before confirming this, you can also zoom in here and check the 15 minutes. If you have a CRT, also a valid one on the 15 minutes, yeah, you don't necessarily need to wait for the 1 hour to close before you find something. But if you don't have a valid one on the 15 minutes, you have to wait for the 1 hour to close, then before you find something. So what is like my definition of a valid this thing? Basically, if price is taking out this low, but it has not taken out the high yet, and price should close above this low. So to me, that is a valid CRT, in my opinion. So basically, after this particular trade was taken from here, immediately after the close of this candle, it's taken from here on my stop loss below here. And this is the range, basically the 4 hour range. Took profits at the 50%. Took profits here also. So yeah, it was not really a huge trade, basically because I had um the fact that it's a Friday, like the day of week. I had that in mind basically. So this was it. From here, took out this high. It was basically more like, would I say, a scalp, because it happened in the span of 1 hour, 2 hours. So yeah, let's just fast forward to how that played out. So yeah, so like I was saying, if you zoom in here and there's no valid 15 minutes CRT, all you need to do is just to wait for this candle to close. Put your line on the third candle, this candle, one candle, two candle, three. Put your line here, Then just go to the 3 minute time frame or 1 minute time frame, any time frame that is comfortable for you to find an entry, and just look for your entry. So if you look at it like price traded here, price broke above, traded to this level, look at like the whole order flow is screaming bullish. So you can still find your entry after the 1 hour break. At this point here, you can still find your entry here. Or on the 15 minutes, you can immediately price closes here. You can find your this like a more aggressive and risky entry. Immediately after this close, you can take the entry here. Because now from this that we've gotten this, we're trying to predict that the 1 hour will also be a valid CRT after the third candle forms, and the 4 hour will also be a valid CRT. And the 4 hour was a type of CRT in which it took out a low and then took out the high. So this is a more aggressive entry, this particular entry here. But my entry was from here. I mean, when I came to this, my entry was here. So basically nothing I can do going back here. Like I can't go back in time, so I just have to. So yeah, so that was it about um this. So I'm thinking maybe of um doing a live stream on YouTube. Maybe basically during the trading hours, possibly maybe like a silent commentary to start with. Then I'll just mark what I'm looking at and just something of that sort. Then yeah. So yeah. So I also have a community on Telegram for a while now, in which it was not, I left inactive. So that was just like a community basically where no one can chat, where I just drop ideas and all. But I've decided to like um create a group basically in which I've done on Telegram, where this particular one is open and anyone can chat on the group. So yeah, if you want to be a part of the group, all you need to do is just hit me up on X, that is on Twitter, and I'll just send you a link. It's a private group basically. It's not a paid group, it's a free private group where there are just a few good traders, and that is just it. Like yeah, backtest together, drop chats of what we're looking at. That is the whole purpose of the group basically. So yeah, so that is just it. There might be more to this, but my explanation, but just okay. Let me just give you a recap here. On the 4 hour, price is taking out this low. On the 4 hour, price is taking out this low. I'll give another example before we leave. Still on the same code, price is taking out this low. On the 1 hour, this low also is also the low of a 1 hour CRT. So then you go to the 15-minute time frame. This low also is also the low of a 15-minute CRT. So you can either take, after price close, you can either take a buy here, or you wait for this to close and take your buy here. But if there is no 15-minute valid CRT within, it must be the same low. All if you notice the low on the 4 hour that is taking out this liquidity, that was the same load. That is the same load I'm using. This same load, that's what I'm using on the 1 hour here. So these are my rules basically. That's what I'm using on the 1 hour here. Then if you go to the 15 minutes and it's not a valid like CRT, all you have to do is just wait for this candle to close, mark out the open of this candle. Then once this candle is open, I basically go to the 3 minutes. I don't look at it from the 1 hour. I go to the 3 minutes. If it's Nasdaq, I go to the 1 minute because 1 minute looks cleaner for most times on the Nasdaq. So Yeah, 3 minutes. Wait for some sort of displacement, favor lookup. Like look at, if you look at the whole order flow, there were multiple entries here, like going up. Maybe before, yeah, maybe after this, it will be hard to get an entry again, because I mean from here price keeps going up and up. So yeah, that is just it. And if you check, look at gold still, same thing happened later on in the day. Price is taking out this high. We don't wait for this to close. We'll try to predict this or this. So I'll try to predict this. So from here, immediately price is taking out this high. All you have to do is go to the 1 hour. And it might be hard to keep up with, to be honest, because so that's why I have a script basically. I have a script in which I get these notifications. So when I get notifications, I just go and look at. So yeah, this is a valid CRT. You can go in to the 15-minute time frame. If you notice, there is no valid CRT here. This is closing up of this. So now you have to go back to the 1 hour. I will have to wait for this candle to close. So now after this candle closes, we put our line on the next candle. So now we're looking for an entry from here. What are the key things to look at? The 50% of the week. Like also, like go into your charts, like backtest this. Whenever I see something like this, we just saw something like when we spoke about Nasdaq, same thing basically. The 50% of the week is something to always look out for. Like also on AU, where was AU? Yeah, this was AU trade. It was the same concept I was using here. Price coming to the 50% of the week, because if you on the higher type of this basically 50% of the week, stop loss above the high. So okay, okay. So with this, you can mark out the 50% of the week. From the 1 hour, you go to your 3 minutes time frame. There are ways you can approach this. You can either take your trades from the 50% of the week. This is more reward. It's more rewarding. Or you wait for the reaction from the 50% of the week, and then you take your sell. Let me just mark this out. This is a fair value gap. Price close below the fair value gap. This is another fair value gap. Price close below this fair value gap. And after price close below, price is retracing to this fair value gap. You don't necessarily need to wait for price to retrace deeper, because already this is already a deep retracement. So there are ways to approach this. You can use your fib. There, I mean, if you okay, I set up my fib so that only 50% shows, but above 50%, you can take a buy above 50% stop loss here. There are so many ways that this can be approached. We have traders that also approach this from the sense of okay, after the 1 hour closes, they can sell here, this fair value gap, depending on your stop loss placements, stop loss above this high. So if you are maybe looking at the order flow, for example, you want to sell here, and you want to put your stop loss above this high, just like for a more risk to reward, have it in mind that this can happen and price can retrace to the 50% of the week. And most times the 50% of the week is I'll not even say most times, I'll say every time, the 50% of the week is always a lower time frame fair value gap. If you go back in time and you look at this, the 50% of the week is always a lower time frame fair value gap. So that is just it. Same thing played out here. I mean, So yeah, this is how I approach the charts. So we'll be looking at next week. Let's see what next week has in store for us. And I mean, yeah. So that is it, guys. So don't forget to subscribe, like. Feel free to hit me up on X. Feel free to leave a comment, and like, I mean, if there's something you want to see specifically, like if you want to backtest together, if you need a call specifically to understand something, just I mean, just let me know. And yeah, aside that, if there are ways you feel like I can improve the channel, I'm also open to suggestions. I mean, because one of my this year's goal is to like make sure I go out there, and I'm trying to grow my TikTok. Instagram, I'm not really focused on Instagram yet. But like I'm trying to do it just chat work. Just chat work. I'm not trying to like sell any lifestyle or anything. Just chat work basically. So yeah. So that is all for you today. So have a nice weekend. Yeah. Stay safe.